Hello everyone, my name is Madina, and today I will be discussing my favorite part of the brain, which is the pituitary gland. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start by looking at this picture of the human brain. So where is the pituitary gland located? It is located right here at the base of the brain. It is right below the hypothalamus, and it's actually attached. So what is the pituitary gland? The pituitary gland, like I said, is located right here at the base of the brain, connected to the hypothalamus. It's a P-shaped endocrine gland situated at the base of the brain, located right below the hypothalamus, even though it is connected. It is referred to as the master gland because of its ability to regulate the activity of several other endocrine glands. So let's quickly go over what the endocrine system is and its functions. So what is the endocrine system? It basically involves glands and organs that generate, store, and release organs directly into the bloodstream. These hormones regulate a wide range of vital bodily functions and processes to ensure that all the systems are working together smoothly as they're supposed to. Now let's look over on the right side here on the diagram. You can see that the endocrine system is comprised of all these organs. So there's not one single organ that is responsible for the whole endocrine system. Now let's go over the main functions of the endocrine system, starting with hormone regulation. So hormones are chemical messengers that help coordinate and regulate activities throughout the body. Moving on to maintaining homeostasis, it basically helps to keep the body stable and balanced by regulating functions such as temperature, metabolism, water balance, and blood sugar levels. Moving on to growth and development, so hormones also control physical growth and development, and the pituitary gland takes a big part in this, so we'll talk about that a little later. Moving on to reproduction. So the endocrine system plays a key role in reproductive processes, including sexual development, menstrual cycles, and overall fertility. Moving on to stress response. So hormones like adrenaline and cortisol help to keep the body responding to stressors, and it basically prepares the body for fight or flight scenarios. Moving on to metabolism control. So the endocrine system regulates how the body uses energy through digestion and cellular metabolism. And last but not least, the last function of the endocrine system is regulating sleep cycles. So the pineal gland, which is part of the endocrine system, produces melatonin, which influences sleep-wake cycles, which is very important for daily human functioning. So let's discuss the structure and function of the pituitary gland. We'll be starting with the anterior lobe located right here, and it is the adenohypophysis. It is made of glandular epithelial tissues, and it develops at the extension of the floor of the third ventricle. The pituitary gland, which controls other glands in the body by producing different hormones, receives those hormonal signals from the hypothalamus, which kind of acts as the control center for these hormones. The anterior lobe is responsible for producing and secreting a variety of those important hormones. The cells of the anterior pituitary gland secrete growth hormones, prolactin, thyroid-stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle-stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. So what do all of these hormones do? Starting with prolactin. So prolactin basically promotes milk production in females. It's very essential for lactation during post-pregnancy. There's also some research to show that it may also influence reproductive functions. Moving on to the adrenocorticotropic hormone, which helps the body respond to stress and to regulate metabolism. So the ACTH stimulates the adrenal cortex to release cortisol, which helps the body respond to stress and to regulate metabolism. It helps the body respond to stress by increasing glucose availability, and it also regulates blood pressure and immune function. Moving on to the thyroid stimulating hormone, which helps regulate metabolism, energy, and development. And the luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, which basically regulate reproductive health and function. And last but not least, growth hormone, which stimulates the body growth and metabolism. So the growth hormone stimulates the growth of bones, muscles, tissues, and cartilage, particularly during childhood and adolescence. It helps to regulate metabolism by stimulating fat breakdown for energy, increasing protein synthesis, and reducing glucose uptake by cells to maintain blood sugar levels. Now, moving on to the posterior lobe, or the neurohypophysis, located right here on this side. And as you can see, it is directly connected to the hypothalamus. So the posterior lobe is made of neural secretory tissues, and basically the hypothalamus provides the nerve fibers and the nerve terminals that make up the posterior lobe. The hormones are stored in the secretory granules within the nerve terminals, and when necessary, the electrical excitation causes the hormones to be released into the general circulation. Now, there are two main hormones that are stored in here, and that is oxytocin and vasopressin. So, what is oxytocin? It is a natural hormone that manages key aspects of female and male reproductive systems, including labor, delivery, and lactation, as well as aspects of human behavior. So basically, your hypothalamus is where the oxytocin is made, but the posterior lobe is where it is stored and released when necessary. Moving on to vasopressin, it basically controls blood pressure and water balance in your system. So vasopressin helps the kidneys control the amount of water and salt in the body and how much urine is produced. It also helps to constrict blood vessels, which helps control blood pressure. So we have gone over how the pituitary gland is vital in basic bodily functions, how it regulates certain hormones in your body, and the big role it plays in the endocrine system. So what will happen if the pituitary gland gets damaged? Well, there's going to be lots of hormonal imbalances, vision problems, headaches, nausea and vomiting, changes in body composition, and other disorders. So when the pituitary gland gets damaged, there's going to be some tumors developing in there, and these tumors can press on the optic nerves, which can cause vision problems and severe headaches. There's also going to be lots of hormonal imbalances because low levels of pituitary hormones can cause fatigue, sexual dysfunction, and changes in weight or body composition. High levels of certain hormones can cause other conditions like Cushing's syndrome, and pituitary disorders can cause anxiety, depression, hair loss, high blood pressure, and irregular menstrual periods. And in some cases, it can also cause unexpected breast milk production in females. So yeah, the pituitary gland is very vital in the endocrine system. It plays a huge role in our day-to-day functioning. Without the pituitary gland, we would probably have to take all kinds of hormones every day to keep us going. So yeah, that's it for this video on the pituitary gland. Like and subscribe.